What's up? You're watching Actors Daily Bread, episode 128. This is day 2 of 7 for my experienced actors. Today I'm talking about transitioning from Broadway to television. I'm so excited to do this, so be sure that you stay tuned. I have Instagram, I got Facebook going. I'm here with you. If I miss a comment, just be patient with me, or you can direct message me on Instagram. Facebook, leave me a comment, let me know that you are here. Everybody, rep your city. Let me know where you're watching from. If on Instagram too, let me know where you are watching from. So, if this is your first time watching, I want to welcome you. This is Actors Daily Bread. I'm Christine Horn. I'm a professional working actress, gosh, of 20-something years. And I'm a life and career coach for actors. I'm also the founder of the Booking Magnet Academy. It's the #1 virtual training center for actors who desire to master booking starring roles in television shows on a consistent basis. I don't believe in having a little one-off co-star here, guest star here. I want to teach my people how to do it over and over and over and over again. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Facebook, give me some love, give me some hearts, some love. Let me know where you're watching from. I see Cary, North Carolina up in Instagram. I see Minnesota. What's up, Miss Brown? So I'm gonna dive into this content. Listen, so again, this week I'm talking just to my experienced actors. Yesterday, I told you guys my first group of actors are my new, aspiring, don't know where to start. That's my group 1. My group 3 is kind of where I am. You know, you're surviving, you're living full time off this acting career, and you know, always striving to be better. But my group 2 is who I'm talking to this week. So if that's you, raise your hand. If it's not you, you can still watch and take notes and put it in the back file cabinet. And yesterday we talked all about creating a guest star series regular mentality, because there's a different mentality that you have to go to that next level. And it really is not just like, oh, positive affirmations, but really like, for real, things you need to do. You know, how you need to shift to step into that and truly be prepared. So I want to thank you guys for watching. For all my replay watchers who will watch this later, what's up, replay watchers? Love you guys. Love you. So I'm going to dig in because I have an event to go to. There's an Emmy event here tonight in LA for that show 911. I'm hoping to see Miss Angela Bassett tonight. I love Angela Bassett. Any Angela Bassett fans out here? So I'm going to make this quick, unlike yesterday where I was extremely long-winded. Facebook, y'all are quiet. I don't see no likes, no hearts, no nothing. Say hello. So I know I'm not talking to myself. But here we go. I'm going to dig in. So for those of you who are new to me, you may or may not know, I had the privilege of, I would say my first big break in theater was when I booked a role in The Lion King. I booked the national tour of The Lion King, and that experience changed my entire life. You know, I did the national tour. I did 2 national tours. I did the Las Vegas company. I got to perform on Broadway in 2008 with the show. And then, oh my gosh, they flew me to Germany. I got to workshop it there. So I did The Lion King for 5 years. And before The Lion King, I did a ton of regional theater. So if you're a theater person, this video is for you today. If you're a theater person who's looking to transition to film and TV, this is for you. And hey, Instagram, Facebook is being hella quiet, so feel free to ask me some questions, okay? If you have a question that pops up, because I will answer every question. And again, you can DM me if you have something specific. But what I tell this story jokingly, but it wasn't so haha at the time. When the Las Vegas company closed, we were at Mandalay Bay. Shout out to all my Lion King alumni, right? Mandalay Bay, we closed, I think, I forget, 2010, 2011? You guys are going to have to let me know. Anyway, I literally drove to Los Angeles after that. Like, I'm moving to Los Angeles. I'm moving to Hollywood. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to, I was so ready. I need you to be quiet. That's my dog, Prince. He's jealous because he's not in the room. Like, don't make me go out there. Like, I don't have kids, but I got this dog. Like, don't make me come out there. So, when I left Las Vegas, I thought I was ready. I had the drive, I had the desire, certainly. And I got to LA, honey, and it was crickets. I did manage. Thank you for the hearts. I see you, Deshaun. I see you, Richard. Thank you for watching. You know, I had the desire, like a lot of you may have the desire. I even landed an agent. But honey, that phone did not ring. And when I would go on auditions, I would get the same notes over and over again. You're too big. You're doing too much. You need to tone it down. Like, this ain't the theater. You're not working a 1,200 seat house anymore. And it was really frustrating because I knew I was a good actor. I've been acting for so long, and I had done some little movies here and there. I did Stomp the Yard with Columbus Short, and I did some other Blood Done Sign My Name. I did some feature films, but small roles. And it just was really, it felt really defeating. I felt really defeated in that moment, but I didn't let it get to me. Not all the way. I mean, I definitely had my down moments and was really confused, and I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do next. I didn't have anybody to tell me what I was doing wrong. Give me some hearts, give me some, amens if that's been you. Like, sometimes you just want somebody to tell you, what am I doing wrong? Like, how can I improve? And no one would tell me that. If you're tuning in on Instagram, I'm talking about transitioning from Broadway to television. And so I ended up just really being confused for a good year, 2 years of not booking television and not knowing why. And see, what people don't tell you also is TV rules everything. It's like a catch-22. You want to do TV, but you need TV credits. You're like, so how do I get the first TV credit if you don't book me in a TV show? It's a horrible catch-22, and it boils down to you doing a lot of other prep work before someone gives you a chance. And it all boils down to someone giving you a chance. I think that's just in life, period, right? So what today I want to share with you, again, I don't want to go too long because I got to go, but I want to give you 4 tips if you are this person, if you are trying to make that transition, even if you haven't made it to Broadway like I had, you may just have always been doing theater or some other line of work that required you to be big. In theater, we have to show our emotions. If I'm angry, I'm angry, right? If I'm scared, I'm really scared, and I have to really show it because I have to reach the back of the house. I have to reach the nosebleed section. And it's really, really challenging. I'm telling you, I'm raising my hand to bring that in. Even when you think you're bringing it in, even when you think you're being smaller, it's still too much. My eyes are so expressive. My mouth, I realized I was blinking all the time. Like, the tiniest things you start to find when you look at yourself on camera. And so I'm going to give you 4 tips today because, like I said, this week is dedicated to you guys, to my experienced actors. And, listen, if you are interested in getting some mentorship, I have 5 slots open for a new opportunity. If you go to coachmechris.com, you can apply to speak with me, and I can tell you more about that. And if that's not a fit, I certainly have other wonderful programs that you can do, especially for if you're starting out and you need something from more of a new from the base. My Instagram people, just click the link in my bio, and you'll see a bunch of different options for you, okay? So my tip number 1, if you're trying to make that transition from theater to television, and you guys, I specifically talk about TV often because that is just my sweet, juicy spot, and I feel like I cracked the code on that. And I went from 0 credits when I left The Lion King to now over 44 credits, and I'm constantly building. And so my tip number 1, it's to get in an on-camera acting class. On camera. It's not just enough to do, acting 101 or just scene study. You need to be taped at all times. You need to be in a class that forces you to go home, tape yourself, tape your scene. You get to review it, or when you're in class, you guys are taping yourself. Okay, my alarm just went up on my phone. You have to be in a class that is going to push you in that way. You think you know what you're doing until you see yourself, and then you're like, why am I doing that? Why am I blinking? Why am I eyebrows on fleek? Like, why am I rocking back and forth? Like, each and every one of us has something, I call it an ism. We have some kind of ism that we do and we don't realize it till it's elevated and we see it on screen. My second tip for you, if you're coming from the Broadway scene, is to take an improv class. And here's why. You may have taken an improv class while you were doing theater, but I really want to encourage you to take improv classes after you're done with theater. You know, I just signed on another client over the weekend, and she's done Broadway. We actually did a show together, and I'm really encouraging that for her. And here's why. When you do Broadway, when you do theater, even again, if you haven't been on Broadway yet, but if you do theater, we're taught to do the same thing, 8 shows a week. Now, yes, you may be in the moment, and yes, the energy may be a little different from the audience that day, but especially like on Broadway or when you're touring with a Broadway show, honey, there's numbers on that stage. You can't decide today I'm not going to stand on 10, I'm going to stand on 12. Like if you're on the wrong side of the stage, you're messing the whole thing up. Broadway and national tours, that's a machine that must stay in the pocket so that the show is the same. If you see The Lion King on Broadway, it should not be different than The Lion King on tour. If you see The Color Purple in New York, it should not change from The Color Purple here at Pantages Theater. Shout out to Gavin Gregory, who plays Mr. right now. So that's what Broadway does. Broadway and Broadway shows, I'll say Broadway shows, you get locked in a pocket that does not give you room to breathe. You get to a point, unfortunately, where you do not feel creatively fulfilled every night. You talk to some Broadway people who've been doing a show for years, 8 shows a week, 1 day off. It becomes like, you're just like, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And those of us who have done it know that we find all kinds of things to keep ourselves entertained, from shenanigans on stage to pranks. Nope, I mean, producers don't want to hear that, but that's the reality. We do things to keep ourselves interested because the moment you do an extra riff, like if you're doing musical theater and you decide to be like, Shadowland, they be like, oh, boo, after that show, honey, they're going to come and see like, I have some notes for you, Crystal. Yeah, on that third run of Shadowland, you're supposed to do Shadowland. Yeah, and you did Shadowland. They'd be like, no, so let's fix that. Let's not do that again. You have no room. Your talent is welcome, but your interpretation can go back to the dressing room. But when you switch to television, that's different. A new world opens up, and especially for my second group of actors who I'm talking to this week, your interpretation is welcome. What you think does matter. What you want to bring to the character does matter. You know, when I was playing Nala in Lion King, just do the role, just do the job, sing the songs, stay on, we don't need all that extra. We don't need you to put all these extra things in there. That's not what the show is about. It's created, there's a structure, and it works. All Broadway shows are the same. They are all the same because that's how they guarantee a high standard of quality. That way you can see the show anywhere, know what to expect. So getting an improv class to free you up, because you really are truly are going to have to shake that off, because when no 2 takes are going to be the same, nor should they be. If you're doing 5 takes on set, they need to, you need to have done the work behind it to bring something different to each one. I hope that makes sense. Give me some hearts, give me some love. Let me know that this is making sense. Even if you're watching a replay, leave me comments. You guys know I'm going to come back through this thread, honey, and respond to each of you. So my third tip, look at the clock. We got to get in the car in a little bit. My third tip is to stay taping yourself. I coach a lot of used to be theater actors, and that's the main tip I give them. Tape yourself, tape yourself, tape yourself. Go to showfax.com if you have an Actors Access subscription. So thank you for the heart, thank you for the love. Go to showfax.com if you have a subscription. Download Sides if you don't have a subscription to Actors Access and Showfax. There's a website I think called Mock Sides. Google Sides, and Sides are scripts, but you guys know that, right? And tape yourself. You should be taping yourself at least once a week with your camera phone, with your video camera, something. Because let me tell you, you think you're being subtle, right? When you're doing your audition, and then, honey, you go look back at that tape, and you be like, John, I said, where are you? John, where are you going? You be like, why am I doing that with my head? I tell you guys, when I first started, when I was like always taping myself, I was blinking all the time. I was like, what human blinks every other second? Like, I don't know something about when that camera turned on, I just became a blinking monster. And even to this day, I have this thing where I kind of sway. And every now and then I'm like, Christine, stop swaying. Be grounded. But those are things you're not going to find out, because in theater, no one's seeing you blink that much, because they can't even see your they can't even see your teeth, really. They just see a silhouette of you sometimes because they're sitting so far back. So, always tape yourself so that you can start to dissect what is happening. I see you guys on Instagram. Thank you for joining, Hanifa, G-Max, the Akira Show. Yes. So that's my third tip. So get in front of the camera, get in an on-camera class. Take improv, because you have to shake off that Broadway can't think of the word, but anybody who's on a Broadway show knows that. Be on number 2, be on number 10. Nobody cares about your opinion, honey. Get in an improv class to loosen you up. And then third, stay on tape. Look at yourself on tape. And I know it's hard to look at yourself on tape and to pinpoint things. And when you look at yourself on tape, I want you to look at yourself with loving eyes. Not like, oh God, I look fat. Oh, look at my neck. Oh, look at my this. The stuff that I teach my students, I teach you how to adjust based on what it is that you see. So if you got a lot of neck fat, honey, we're going to adjust where that camera is. We're going to bring the camera at a different level. Make sure your eye line is different. If your boobs are huge, we don't want to have that camera too low. We want to get the camera to more of a balanced level. Different things like that, because sometimes you can deceive casting directors. They may think you're heavier than you are just because of the angle of your camera, right? So that's, again, things I teach, don't have time for today. But my final tip for you today is, and before I give you the final tip, listen, if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, I want to hear your comments. Leave your comments and questions. But this is day 2. I'm doing this for the next 5 days, where I'm talking about different things. Just so you know what's coming up this week. Tomorrow, we're talking about embracing your power on set. And then I'm also going to do another live tomorrow with a woman who I met over the weekend with a company that creates reels for people out here in LA, and what she experiences with actors, and that will really help you. Then we're going to talk about, that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to talk about collaborating with your representation, not just being desperate and like, hey, please like me, please, give me auditions, but how you can collaborate. Hold on, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so Thursday, we're going to talk about how to train casting directors, how to train them, and I'll explain more. Friday, we're going to talk about acting full-time. We're going to talk about some real money. No one talks about the money, and I want to talk about the money so you guys are not living in La La Land. And let's talk about the money. And then on Saturday, we're going to wrap up with creating your own success. So just so you know what's coming. So turn on notifications if you don't have them turned on so you don't miss this. I'm going live at different times every day because I have have 3 events this week plus 3 auditions. So plus my work, working with my clients. So it's a busy week. So I have no idea when I'm going live. So turn on notifications so you don't miss it. So before I wrap, first of all, thank you all for staying and joining and watching. My last tip for you today, we're talking about going from Broadway or Broadway show and theater to TV. And my last tip for you is to find yourself on TV. I'll say that again. Find yourself on TV, and I'll explain more. My current clients, you guys know I talk about this all the time, so you probably can check out. But I need you guys to start studying television. Don't just watch TV like a consumer, like everybody else. Really study it. When you turn on the TV, who looks like you? What shows are they on? What's their hair like? What do they dress like? If you want to do high drama, honey, are you studying the high drama? And are there people who look like you in that? Now, certainly we can blaze down doors and blaze new trails, but there have been paths already laid. And the mistake a lot of us make is, I don't want to be typecast. I want to be me. And, you know, and I have to talk to my theater people like this, because in theater, honey, you can be 60 years old playing a 20-year-old. They get you a nice little lace wig with the lace coming down the hair, the microphone, no one can see it, right? And it's okay because it's theater. TV does not operate that way. TV does not operate that way. You have to really fit what is going on. You know what I mean? And so you have to start seeing what people look like and what they are in and what they're wearing, so that when it's time for you to audition, when it's time for you to have your opportunity, you are matching what the industry has set up as a standard. There is a standard for television. I look at TV like a game now, y'all, and I want you to start doing the same. The click happened when I understood it was like a game, and all I had to do was fit in. And the more I understood myself, which is something I work with my clients on, understanding who you are, what you bring in the room, understanding that you have a certain type and you have a certain essence. You may think you're one thing, but you may bring something totally different in the room when you show up. And you may not be booking because you think you're giving something, but you're actually not giving that. You're giving something totally different. And the more you understand who you are as an actor, as a human being, when you step in a room, you know who you are. When you step in a role, I have 3 auditions, and there's something about each of these people that is Christine. There's an essence, there's an element to them that is me. It's in my sweet spot. And actually by now I've trained my agents, I've trained my team, I've trained my casting directors. We're all on the same page about what Christine is offering. Now, every now and then they throw a wild card and I get to do something totally off the wall. But 9 times out of 10 these days, the stuff I audition for is in the same kind of vein, because that's what I do best. And it's like a no-brainer. GMAX, so that's what I have. I'm going to take some questions. I'll take a couple of minutes for questions. Or comments. I'm going to see one on Instagram. Y'all, I can't even say these names. He says, thank you for the tips, Christine. I'm not even an actor, but you make it interesting. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. You know, acting is, I love, love, love it. Y'all laughing at me on Facebook. I love it, you know? And, oh, my Instagram paused for some reason. I do love it, and I'm very passionate about this. I am very clear that acting is not just about my talent. I am very clear that this is show business. It is show business. That is what I teach in my Booking Magnet Academy. Again, it's the #1 virtual training center for actors who want to book TV shows on a consistent basis. This is the stuff I teach. And sometimes some of my actors actually get frustrated. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Renor. You know, some of my actors sometimes get frustrated, like, Christine, I don't want to do this work. I don't want to do this research. I don't want to create spreadsheets and keep track of casting directors and auditions. But you have to, because it's a business. The thank you cards, the fruit baskets, the drop-offs, like all that stuff is part of this business. So I'm going to wrap because we do have to get out of here, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit the like button, turn on your notifications, subscribe, whatever, do all that stuff so you don't miss the rest of this week. This is Actors Daily Bread. If you're new to me and you are an actor, unlike G-Man, right? This is episode 128, which means if you want to binge, this is the show to binge, to catch up and to stay ahead of the game. I am a working actor in Hollywood, and I've had some ups and I've had some downs, man. I've had years of not booking, and it took some time to do a lot of research, a lot of coaching to get to where I am today. And I want to help you skip the line. If you want to skip the line and get me to hold your hand, you can certainly do that. Go to coachmechris.com if you want to apply to see what working with me looks like. Again, I have 5 spots in my next installment of a super special program. Have an amazing night. Oh, hold on. I see one more comment. Richard. Renor says, I would like to become a casting agent. All right. Well, go ahead and get to it. Richard says, so true. I'm figuring that out now. He says, because I have a vision of who I am as an actor, but the casting directors and my agents bring me in for things different because of my look. It's the business. Absolutely. And on this note, I'll close on that note, Richard. You know, I tell some of my clients, I tell them, look, don't take it personal. You know, one of my clients, shout out to Arisha, she was like, Christine, why I'm getting Swamp Woman and I'm getting this and I'm getting that? And I'm like, honey, that doesn't take away your beauty. You know, that doesn't speak to who you are as a human being. But when we walk in a room, there's something that we give off. And Richard, you know, because I know you, you know, and I've met you and we've worked together actually. You know, you've got this kind of young, sweet guy next door thing, but I bet there's some underlying mystery there too. So I'm really curious. Maybe can you put in the comments what are some of the roles you typically go out for versus what you think you would like to go out for? I'd be curious to know that, and let's take that conversation further. All right, you guys have an amazing night. I'm gonna head to this Emmy event. You know, I can do a whole separate video on that, but especially for my group 2 actors, for those of you who have been working, you have some nice credits under your belt. You know, we need more people to join the Television Academy because, you know, it's easy to complain about what's on television, but if you are not part of the solution, you ain't helping. So, you know, being part of the Television Academy has been awesome the past year, being able to vote for the Emmys and vote for what I want to see on television. And I never even knew anything about it. So maybe I'll do a video about that another day. But have an amazing night. Mwah! I'll see you guys next time. Bye.